friends, to get started with our art project today, we're going to do a little bit of recall. I'm going to see if you can remember different types of lines that we learned about last year in kindergarten. So I'm going to ask you if you know a certain type of line, and then you're going to try and recreate it on your paper from your brains, your amazing brains. So the first thing that we need to do is inside of your portfolios, there is a sheet of paper, and it's called the thumbnail sketch sheet. It has tiny squares on it. That's right. And inside each of these squares, we're going to draw something. So get out that sheet of paper and a pencil. We are going to get started recalling what we might have learned last year. So let's see what we're going to draw on our piece of paper first. In your first section, the first square on the very left, you're going to write the number 1. And I want you to try and draw in that first square a straight line. Whatever you think a straight line looks like, I want you to draw. You can draw 1 or 2, it doesn't matter. Straight line in that first box. Now we're going to jump over to the right. We're going to add the number 2 in this box, and I want you to try and draw a zigzag line. Zigzag line in this square. Next, we're going to scoot over to the right again. You're going to write the number 3 in this box, and I want you to try and create a wavy line. Number 3, wavy line. Next, we're going to scoot over to the right again. This will be box number 4. And I want you to try and recreate a spiral line. Box number 4, spiral line. Now we're going to go down. So to the second row now, the first square in the second row, this is box number 5. So write the number 5 in this box. This box, I want you to try and create a dashed line. A line that is dashed. Now we're going to scoot over one last time in our 6th box. I want you to try and combine one of the 2 lines that we just drew with another line that we just drew to create a pattern. So number 6 box, find 2 lines that you drew and make a pattern with those 2 lines. All right, let's see how we did. Did you have something in your boxes that looked like this? Straight line, it could be vertical or horizontal. Number 1 box, number 2, zigzag lines are sharp and pointed at the top and have like diagonal types of lines that are angled. Wavy lines are curvy at the top and the bottom, and they look like ocean waves. Spiral lines are curved lines that spiral around each other or inside of each other, depending on which way you spiral them. Number 5, dashed lines. These are like broken lines. So lines that we see in the streets, lines that divide our paper when we write. And then for my pattern, you could do several different things. You could do short lines. You could have done wavy lines and zigzag lines. Any 2 lines that we had already drawn. But the main thing here is repeating them, which is what a pattern is. Pattern is anything that just repeats over and over and over again. So if you did something on your pretest like this, great job, pat yourself on the back, way to go. That is going to get our brain started for this project today. Here's some other examples of lines that we might use in our artwork throughout the school year. Lines are the building blocks of art, and without lines, we are probably not going to have a good piece of artwork because we need them in our art. Another term that we are going to be adding to our line drawing is called the word contour. Contour lines are lines that define the edges or ridges or the outline of a shape. Let's look at this fish in the top left corner. We can see this is the outline of a fish. There's no inner details. We can't see the eyes. We can't see the scales. This is just an outline. So a contour line is an outline, just like this person's hand. Very similar, okay? Not really heavy in detail, but we mainly see the outside lines of this hand, okay? Today, we're going to be using the lines that we learned, contour lines, and we're going to be repeating different types of lines and shapes to create a pattern in our turtle. Today, we're going to be using some of those lines. Like I said, we're going to be repeating them, making patterns to draw this turtle. And at the end of class, hopefully we can tell our friend next to us about our turtle, maybe our favorite pattern and how we drew that pattern. So today we're going to learn about pattern. So we can fill in the spaces of our turtle with many repeating lines. Lines that we mentioned earlier, like zigzag lines, or straight lines, or curved lines, or spiral lines, as long as they repeat. So, what is a pattern? Does anybody know? Can anybody explain what a pattern might be? A pattern in art is just any object, line, or shape that repeats over and over and over again. Let's look at some things that are being repeated in this example. I'm going to see if you can identify patterns. So I'm going to show you an image. If you think the image is a pattern or creates a pattern, you're going to give Miss Covington a thumbs up. If you think the image is not a pattern, you're going to give me a thumbs down. So I need to see everybody's thumbs. If you think it is, thumbs up. If you think it is not, thumbs down. If you don't show me your thumb, it makes me think that you don't know what's going on. Here is this one. Give me a thumbs up if you think it is a pattern, or a thumbs down you think it is not a pattern. That's right, it is a pattern. Class, what is being repeated in this pattern? That's right, wavy lines are being repeated in this pattern. How about this? Is this a pattern? Thumbs up, you think it is. Thumbs down, you think it is not. No, sorry. I do love you guys, and this is a heart, but it's not a pattern. How about this? Is this one a pattern? Thumbs up? Yes. Thumbs down? No. Yes, yes, yes. It is repeating a certain shape. Class, what shape is being repeated here to make a pattern? That's right, hearts are being repeated. You can have different patterns in the nature around us, everywhere we go. there are patterns. Later, when you go home, I want you to think about things that you see either in nature or the things around your house. See if there's a pattern in them. Let's look at some of these things found in nature that have patterns, like leaves, beehives, or even bees do, with the stripes on their back, and butterflies have patterns. We can find patterns in man-made things as well, like patterns in quilts and patterns in shirts. Look at your shirt. Does it have a pattern on it? Maybe. So in order to have a pattern, what must happen? That's right. In order to have a pattern, it must repeat over and over and over again. If it doesn't repeat, it's not a pattern. So today, when we create our turtle using many different shapes and patterns, like the one that I have completed like this, we're going to share it with our partner next to us and see which one is our favorite pattern, and then you're going to tell them how you created your pattern or what types of lines you used to create your pattern and why it's your favorite.
Look at this amazing turtle. I can't wait to get started working on this with different lines and patterns. First, find that colored construction piece of paper and write your name in the bottom right corner. Also, make sure to add your teacher's name in the other corner. Then pull out your white piece of paper and we're going to get started drawing the contour line of our turtle. I like to use pencil for this. Start in the left corner, draw a dot, and make a big upside down letter U. Then connect the bottom with a slightly curved line underneath. Once we do that in pencil, we can trace it with Sharpie, and the rest of this project will be completed using just Sharpie. This makes us draw really big and take up the whole piece of paper for our turtle. Once we're done drawing the basic contour lines of our turtle, we can start adding in different shapes, lines, and make them into patterns. We can look at that ABCs of Art packet if you want inspiration on different types of lines. I added some hearts into my sections, I added zigzag lines, dotted lines, and I repeated them to make a pattern. So make sure that you are adding different lines and shapes to create a pattern in each section. You should have about 6 sections, which means you should have about 6 different areas of patterns, just like I'm creating in my turtle. And finally, when you are all done adding your patterns, we are going to start cutting. So carefully grab your scissors, make sure your thumbs are to the sky, and follow along those contour lines. Carefully cut out your turtle. This may take a little bit of effort and time. Take your time. It's not a race. We want to make sure we carefully follow along these lines like guidelines to help us cut out our turtle. When you're done cutting out your turtle, I will come collect your scraps of paper. You will also need a glue stick to run along the back of your turtle to glue it down to your construction piece of paper. And voila, we are all done with our turtle.